This is Probable 1701, and today we got a group. Well, I was going to say review, not quite a review. We're doing a top 10 list. Today we're going to be ranking our top 10 Optimus Prime figures. And we don't have all of them here. Some of them we don't even actually have yet, but we're each going to do our top 10 list and kind of discuss why they fall on the list. Naturally, some of the ones we have here. G1 Optimus, we got some Power Master Optimus action going on over here, Classics Optimus, an oversized MP10, IDW Optimus, and of course the Generation 2 Laser Optimus Prime. Quick shot of those, and then we'll go into our ranking list. If we can get the phone to prop up. The phone does not like to prop up. Alright. Because without my paper, I can't remember the list.
I'm not playing on my phone. I have a list.
Same here.
I just wrote it down.
Who's starting?
I might as well just go clockwise.
Alright, well, are we going from 10 to 1 or 1 to 10?
10 to 1.
My 10th place is going to be the G2 Optimus Prime figure. Now, a few things, just to clarify, I only put figures that I've actually messed with on this list. So my 11th place is the Power of the Prime's Optimus, and 12th place is the Movie Masterpiece Prime. I just didn't want to put either of those on my list because I haven't really messed with them. I don't really care for this sentimentality-wise. This is honestly the first time I've ever messed with it. And I don't really like the look of it. But it's definitely a lot of fun to play with. It's got a lot of articulation, and it's got a great transformation. So I definitely like this man.
Cool. Eric?
Me, I'll have number 10 Optimus Prime figure because I really can't think of one, and I'm not really a big fan of the Optimus Prime, so I'll skip over to the Prime.
I'm going to say the Spark Toys War Within Optimus. I like the official Titanium War Within Optimus. I have that one. It's nice. I don't actually have the Spark Toys one, but I like the look of it. I like the pictures I've seen, the reviews I've seen.
Well, I think an important difference to make between you and me is that you just put them on the shelf. I like to transform and fiddle with them.
I do like to transform and fiddle with my older ones, the G1 and G2s.
Right.
I don't like transformations that take 15 minutes. I like something I can transform in like 60 seconds. Like the G2 Optimus, I can transform him in 30 seconds. I like that. I don't like something I'm sitting there going, I have to bend this at a 45-degree angle to slide this in, to move this up over that. But the Spark Toys one, just the look of it I like. So that appeals to me, the War Within Optimus. I enjoy the Titanium ones. I plan on picking it up down the line. I have the Spark Toys Megatron, and I'm really impressed with it. So I do want to get the Optimus to have both of them. I wish they were more I know they're not quite Masterpiece scale, and I wish they were, but they still look pretty sharp. Number 9?
Number 9 for me is going to be Revenge of the Fallen Leader Class Optimus Prime. It's toward the bottom of my list. It's a movie figure. I'm aware some people hate those. I'm not even a big fan of the movies, honestly. I was when I was a kid because it's the first thing I saw of Transformers, but I grew out of it pretty quickly because I just grew more attached to other incarnations of the characters that were, more compelling and not murderous douchebags. But it's a cool figure. I love the transformation. Even if you don't like the design, it's got a very, as someone who likes complex transformations that take a little while, because I have fun transforming figures, I love its more complex, difficult transformation, and it looks pretty accurate. It's honestly just a feat of engineering that they're able to get it so accurate in both modes and actually reuse truck parts in both modes instead of just cheating nonstop like a lot of figures do in the movie line.
My number 9 is the Shattered Glass Masterpiece Optimus that I have. It's basically the MP10 mold in the Shattered Glass colors, which I guess I should have broken that one out. I have that figure. It's really nice. It's made a little... What are you going on about?
He's making faces about our figure choices. I'm honestly surprised you didn't just get up and yell at me for putting Revenge of the Fallen Leader Class Prime on
Yeah,
there.
those movie figures.
But the reason I did that because he said he liked the Shattered Glass
He
Optimus.
like Shattered
I don't like Shattered Glass at all.
Yeah, he hates Shattered Glass, but it's a cheaper version of the mold than MP10. It doesn't have the chrome and everything, which to me fits the Shattered Glass aesthetic. But I like him, the red eyes, the evil look. I mean, he's a cool, evil, twisted version of Optimus. And I thought the MP figure mold, the MP mold, did it really well. I really like it. I actually own it. I should have brought it out, but I didn't. But it looks pretty sharp, and I enjoyed it.
My number 9 is a figure that I have not yet got a hold of yet, but when it comes to stores, I will be getting them. That's a Power of the Prime Optimus Prime figure. From all the reviews I've seen about it, I just think it also looks pretty cool. I mean, the transform, it even actually comes with a Ryan Pax smaller figure. I think that looks really awesome. And I just can't wait to get my hands on it. What are you up to, Gavin, about?
Nothing.
No, I'm just putting that prime down because I know me vision.
I agree with you. I think the Power of the Prime looks good. I like the Orion.
Oh, like I said, it's low on my list. Honestly, if I had to make a guess, it would probably jump up to 5th or 4th place on my list. I just, since playing with it is such an essential part of a figure for me, especially a Hasbro figure, I don't want to rank it until I played with it.
Yeah,
it
looks good though.
It does look good.
The G1 look of Orion Pax looks really good.
I mean, honestly, I might end up trying to buy 2, one on sale, so that I can have that Orion Pax on my MP shelf.
Yeah.
Because I think it would a deluxe Prime would scale well as MP. Because I like to imagine Orion Pax is very small compared to Optimus.
I respect that. I'll say that. But like I said, this is one figure I cannot wait to get. Because, like I said, it's Optimus Prime. Number 8.
8 for me is going to be Power Master Optimus Prime. Again, we're not
Which
quite.
one? The G1?
I don't really have
The one I just showed you?
Yeah, not the Titan's Return one.
Yeah, the G1.
Yeah, the one that's actually a Power Master, not a Headmaster, which is stupid.
Yeah.
We're not quite at figures that I personally love yet. The Power Master Prime figure is a cool figure. Definitely don't have any. I won't grab it because I don't want to mess with it too much because I'll fidget with it for hours. I definitely like the design of it. It doesn't look cool to me. I don't really care for that basic appearance, but it's definitely a fun figure, and I can see the appeal. And I really wish it would get properly revisited today, not poorly revisited like Hasbro did with the whole Headmaster Ultra Magnus remold. I don't like that concept. I like the third-party stuff they're doing. Like, I'm interested in something like that. That would be cool.
For me, my number 8 is the actual original Shattered Glass Classics figure. I love Shattered Glass a lot. I love parallel universes, stuff like that, where the good guys are bad guys are good guys. I love things like that. And I love the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Shattered Glass Classic Mold Optimus. I want that figure, but I just don't have the $500, $600, $700 to throw at him that he cost on eBay. But he looks phenomenal. He's what really introduced the Shattered Glass world. I love the Shattered Glass world. So that's a figure, you know, if I could do like a want list on Transformer figures, he'd be right there near the top with Shattered Glass Hot Rod.
You know what would be really, quick side note, you know what would be awesome? Like a Shattered Glass version of Doctor Who.
I'd enjoy that.
Yeah.
I would like that.
With like the following the Master.
I would watch that.
That would be cool.
Doctor Who fanatics. I don't get it. But my number 8 has to be the Transformers Prime First Edition Voyager Class Optimus Prime. I'm not really a movie fan, but as this version of this Optimus Prime, this was the first Prime figure that I ever held, that I ever owned, and I honestly say it blew me away by the transformation.
You talking about Revenge of the Fallen?
Huh?
The Revenge of the Fallen in the class?
No.
The first one?
What are you talking about? What figure? I'm sorry. What
the Transformers Prime.
Oh.
Voyager Class First Edition Optimus Prime.
First edition. Okay.
Yeah. First edition.
His robot mode looks off to me, but that's
no, it doesn't.
His it's just his torso. It just. But to be fair, I had the other one, so maybe it just.
The one you're used to.
Yeah, so maybe it's just what I'm used to, you know. The first edition bulkhead looks way better though.
I don't care less about any other character on the show, but like I said, I like that figure a lot better because, like I said, it's the first Prime figure that I ever had, and it was really awesome to me.
Honestly, I think that show might be my personal favorite, not counting Beast Wars.
You can tell there's a generation gap here.
I like G1 more for G1, but if G1 didn't have any sentimental value to me, having seen it as a kid, and it wasn't the original, I'd probably like Prime more.
Yeah.
Just objectively, the storytelling.
I think story-wise, Beast Wars is better.
Well, if we're talking about car Transformers, Beast Wars is the best ever. But
number 7? Yeah.
Number for me, 7 for me is kind of continuing. That is going to be the Voyager class Optimus Prime from Transformers Prime, but the second release, the one that was had clear arms. It's not the most accurate figure, as it has the translucent arms and his gun is crap. But it has a fun transformation, and other than those little, the transparent plastic and his weapon, he looks good in both modes if you're willing to get over those little accuracies. Like the core mold itself is a good mold. It has a good transformation, and it's accurate in both modes when you could look at the mold itself. It's a fun figure. I like it.
For me, number 7 is going to be the Planet X Jupiter, which is their version of the Fall of Cybertron Optimus Prime. I don't actually own the figure, but I love the way it looks in pictures. I love the reviews I've seen for it. It's definitely on my want list. I liked the official Generations ones we got. It was nice. It was a little too small. That's right when they started kind of scaling down on them. But the Fall of Cybertron one, the Planet X one, their Jupiter looks fantastic. I also like the look of their Megatron. I'd like to get both of those soon. So that one, I'll know more about it, and it may move around my list once I actually have it in hand. But just from the pictures I've seen, the reviews I've seen, it looks phenomenally good.
My number 7 is a figure that's a little bit out of the ordinary because the line didn't last very long, but it has to be Transformers Machine Wars Optimus Prime. And my friend knows good about this because I bought one sealed at one time, and he threatened to kick my ass if I opened it.
That thing was brand new and didn't look like it hadn't had a scratch. It looked like it came right off the store shelf. And yeah, I told him flat out if he opened it, I would do bodily harm to him. I actually ended up buying another one on eBay and trading with him.
Yeah.
Just so he wouldn't open the thing, because it looked
in prestige condition.
mint. I still have it put up. Which is pretty neat considering that Optimus is actually just a recolor of a European figure that wasn't Optimus.
It was called Thunderclash.
I want that Thunderclash figure one day.
Thunderclash.
Yeah,
Expensive, but I'd love to.
I like the figure though. He is a cool figure.
The Thunderclash figure's okay. Biggest problem is gold plastic.
Machine Wars was actually a KMB Toys exclusive.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah.
Some of them still have the stickers on them.
Mm-hmm.
But
I love those stickers.
But the main reason I like that figure because I really didn't care much about the robot mode and the trailer itself, but I actually like the vehicle mode itself. I thought that was pretty cool to me. Number 6.
Oh, that's me. And I was staring at it too, trying to think of what I'm gonna say. Classics Prime. I actually don't have a lot of experience with this mold. I've only messed with it about 2 times, including today. But it's a cool figure. Again, we're not quite at the list of figures I love. I think that starts at 5. But it's definitely good. I think this one has to get a lot of attention regardless of how much you like it personally as a toy, just because it was the Classics line, which was originally, if I remember correctly, just a placeholder.
But the first movie?
Yeah, just waiting until they could use those.
The Classics was basically a modern update on figures. Like, what if the G1 cartoon came out today?
Right, but I don't think it was intended to be as popular as it was, and yet it's really, I think, what brought back the resurgence of G1 in general. It's the reason we have Combiner Wars and Titans Returns and Power of the Primes, and it's definitely...
Classics ended up branching into Reveal the Shield, Universe, Generations.
And it's definitely a good figure. It's a nice mold. It's an interesting way of keeping that core Optimus Prime look, but updating it. He's definitely fun to transform, and he's one of those figures that has good-looking weapons that store well in vehicle mode, and I love that.
Really good quality.
I hate the way figures sometimes will just have guns that you have to throw to the side. If you have a gun that looks good in both modes and can be used in vehicle mode, so I don't have guns sitting on the side when I transform them, that automatically gets you brownie points in my book.
My number 6 is also the Power Master G1 Optimus Prime. This one. And part of this could be nostalgia. This was the first Optimus Prime I had as a kid. I actually had him before I had a G1 Optimus. And so this was the first one I really had a chance to fall in love with. And I really liked his tiny mode. The Powers of the Prime Optimus is really a modern update of him in a way. You have a smaller Optimus. And this is actually the original 1988 release, whereas this is the 2003, 2004 reissue. And there are slight differences between them. But, you had a small one that formed the chest of the big one, kind of like the new Power of the Prime Optimus does. I really think that concept's based off this figure.
It would have been really cool if they would have done a Power of the Prime's Power Master Prime.
Well, that's pretty much what Titans Returns Prime was. Titans Returns Prime was Power Master Optimus Prime.
Yeah, but I don't... Since
I
well,
don't
the
like
thing
Headmaster
is
either.
since I don't really care for the look of it, I love the toy aspect. So since the Titans Return doesn't have this small cab that fits in his chest, and it doesn't have the chest plate, and the armor doesn't, and it's not really an armor, I don't like it as much. But that's a personal preference thing. It looks good.
Now his vehicle mode looks pretty phenomenal too.
Yes,
I actually really enjoy his vehicle mode. All four of his modes are good. I like the base mode. I like the vehicle mode. I love his big mode. I love his small mode, and then even his Apex armor looks really good. So, and he was my first Optimus. He places really high on my list because of that. Well, number 6. So,
My number 6 is I probably get a little bit heat from this from my friend here, but my number 6 has to be the 2007 movie version Leader Class Optimus Prime.
How dare you? How dare you? It's the shittiest version of Leader Class Prime with that design.
it's a movie figure.
It's a movie figure.
It's shitty by default.
Revenge of the Fallen one looks better. Dark of the Moon, well, Dark of the Moon didn't have a proper.
still
Dark Moon was
terrible.
like crap.
It had a okay. Well, they didn't have a proper Leader Class release. They just
Can't
had
we
an
just
ultimate figure that was
universally say the movie figures are bad and move
No.
on?
shit. No.
They're bad.
No.
They're bad. Just the movie designs are bad.
Anyway.
Okay, yes, but some of those figures from the first and the second film had some good engineering.
Don't get me wrong, I actually like the movie Sideswipe. That's just because I keep it in card mode, and it's a cool card mode.
The engineering is good. I can understand hating the designs, I do as well, and I can understand hating the films. God, I get me ranting on those.
Like I said,
I can never do a PG review with you in it.
I'm sorry, am I supposed to be watching my language in these?
Yeah.
You've never said that, I'm sorry.
I have children who watch these videos.
I'm sorry.
like I said, I was gonna get a lot of heat for this one. But anyway, the reason I say that's my number 6 one because it's the first actual movie figure of a Prime that I actually own. Even though at first I didn't like the way like it looked and the way it transformed, but at time,
Didn't you end up giving it to me?
yes,
He loves it so much he gave it away.
yes, I did. Yes, I did. But anyway,
Sold it on eBay.
I think Eric only really likes like 2 or 3 of the primes on his list. Let's be honest.
could be.
He did get to about 4 and he was like,
How do I extend this to 10?
Anyway, number 5.
Number 5 is going to be the animated Voyager class Optimus Prime for me. Now this
That's
is
a
2
cool
reasons.
figure.
A, it's just a cool figure, and it transforms very similar to G1, which is nice.
which is a very simplistic transformation.
B,
which
it's
I like.
because I love animated figures, because animated is a show that I liked as a kid. Watching back, it's not as good as I remember, although it does have its moments. And there were a lot of animated figures I always wanted to get as a kid, but I was never able to. Because you're a kid, you can't always get figures. And that animated Optimus was one of those figures that I had the deluxe. I wanted the Voyager because it's such a better incarnation of that Prime, and I could never get it. And then I was able to hunt it down on eBay, just, like for cheap, just on a whim.
It is
like
a good,
few
it's an
months ago.
underappreciated figure.
And I love it. Yeah. We're now at the 5 that I love.
My number 5 is the Make Toys Power Master Optimus Prime that's coming. Naturally, I don't have it. It's not quite out yet, but it looks so phenomenal. I know it's not masterpiece scale. It's about the same size as the G1 Power Master Prime. It looks like, but it looks great. All the pictures I've seen for it looks phenomenal. It's definitely one of my most anticipated figures for this year. So I'll be able to say more about it when I get it in hand, but it places this high just because I think it looks really good. I like the choices they made in the design of it.
My number 5 has to be the Planet X Optimus Prime, Jupiter Optimus Prime, and like my friend said earlier in the video, I like the way it looks.
And you know the quality is going to be good. I've handled all. I used to have all 5 of the Planet X Dinobots. I don't anymore. But those were some good quality figures. They make good toys.
Basically, that's my number 5. Number 4.
I totally stole number 5. I'm so sorry.
Yes, you did.
You can keep going if you want.
I don't think I know what to
Eric
say.
usually just doesn't have a lot to say about him.
Thank you.
Number 4 is G1 Optimus Prime. In particular, and this is probably going to get a little heat, the 2008 reissue that came with a comic and a DVD.
I thought that's the one you didn't like.
Okay, here's the thing. It looks awful, and objectively speaking, the original G1 Optimus Prime fits in that list. The reason I mention that figure in particular is that's the one I own. And that was one of that first year that I started getting Transformers, that was the first one, like it was a G1 figure, and that's what got me into the G1 series. Is I was first just interested in the movies. And then my granny just saw a cool Optimus Prime and bought me that reissue. And so I had a cool G1 Prime that I played with while watching More Than Meets the Eye, the 3-part intro to the series. And that's what got me to fall in love with the G1 cartoon and the G1 era, which ended up becoming my favorite overall era of Transformers when it comes to design and characters and personalities. And that's the figure that got me into that. Now, in reality, just the G1 Prime fits in this list because it's an objectively pretty cool looking figure. But for me, that one, although the red is a little orangey and the smokestacks are short, and
all the reissues of Prime have short smokestacks.
It doesn't look as good. It's one of the crappier of reissues of that Prime. But for me, I mentioned that figure in particular because it was the fact that it came with the G1 cartoon, and it's what got me into it.
My number, what are we on, 4? 4. Yeah, 4.
Is it 4? Yes, because my 3 is going to get people pissed.
Right. My 4 is the G1 and G2 Optimus because they're pretty much the same figure with a different color trailer.
See, like, that one's way better than mine. He doesn't even have stickers.
And now, this is an actual G1 1984 Optimus Prime. This is not a reissue. You can tell by the longer smokestacks, which they can't do on the reissues because of child safety laws. I also have a G2. The G1 and G2 Optimus Primes are pretty much the same figure, but with different trailers. Personally, I actually like the G2 trailer better, which is a bit heresy to say, but I actually like it. It just looks cooler to me. But since they're pretty much the same figure, they both get 4th place. I love that it has a simplistic transformation. It takes just a second to transform. I love the fact that the cab is actually the chest. There's no fake parts to make it look more like Optimus. The fact that the front end actually becomes the chest. I love that. That's a big thing for me. Not all Optimuses pull that off.
I mean, even my number 1 doesn't.
But my number 1 sort of does.
Well, yeah, but not with the...
Yeah, not the bottom part. The top part doesn't. I'm forgiving in ways. But I like the fact that the whole front end forms the whole chest. He's a cool figure. Naturally, like a lot of G1 figures, he's kind of dated. He's definitely not as articulated as some. But man, he's got die-cast metal in him. He's got weight to him. He has presence. He has the vintage and nostalgia factor. He has a lot going on for him. And he is just a really, really good figure. Him and his G2 counterpart are both really good figures. Really. That's the reason why they've been reissued so many times.
My number 4 has to be the... Can you pass me that, please? Yeah. My number 4 is the classic Optimus Prime. And the reason I say because I just love the way that this figure looks. Because I'm like, tight joints. It almost looks closely the G1 accurate, almost, but it's not quite there. But it has well, it doesn't have a difficult transformation, which I'm glad about. But I mean, the way this figure looks, I mean, it just looks pretty badass. I mean, I like the weapons. I really like the double laser gun right here, and I mean, I just really love this figure. And when my friend told me, about about the Pope starting to hold the class live 12 years ago, I didn't believe him at first until I actually saw him in Walmart one time. And I looked at this thing and said, "Oh my gosh, this thing looks awesome." I went and got him the next day, and since then I've been in love with Transformers ever since then, especially this particular line. Number 3.
Number 3 for me. It's a weird pick. It's objectively doesn't even deserve to be on this list, but I'm going to tell a story afterwards that explains why it's here.
Oh my God.
No.
Get your pillows, your blankets, and your warm cups of milk.
3rd place for me is going to be the Transformers Movie 1 Fast Action Battlers Optimus Prime.
I have a feeling it's faster than you're going to be.
Let me explain.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
I don't think I want to hear this, but go ahead.
It's not the best figure objectively. It looks pretty awful. It cheats 100%, and its arms are just the entire truck.
It looks like a 3-year-old figure.
I don't even know what figure we're talking about.
I do.
It's terrible.
Yes.
Yes, it's terrible.
Why? Oh, no, wait, no, I didn't ask, I'm sorry.
It basically looks like a Happy Meal figure.
My dad was always trying...
I can't even get through a review without being text. I can't even make it through the review without a text.
You're not talking. Anyway, objectively speaking, but my dad always tried to get me into Transformers because he loved it as a kid, and I never really cared. He showed me the classics line.
I wonder how much he
vintage
regrets that
figures,
decision.
and I didn't know, but I didn't want to watch them. I thought it was stupid.
All the millennials will say that.
Well, but it's weird is I love the G1
Millennials love
cartoon.
Transformers too.
I love
They
the
like-
G1 cartoon. Now I was just
They
too
like
young.
some of the crappier stuff about them.
Yeah.
See, when I was a kid, when I was little, I was into Star Wars, and so he just kept showing me these Transformers figures, and I didn't care for it. I just wanted Star Wars. But he took me when the movie came out in 2007. He took me to see the live action film, and I actually enjoyed it at the time. Like I loved it. It was cool. It was transforming robots. This is awesome. And so I immediately wanted some figures. And so right after going to the movie theater, he drove me to Walmart. And the movie had just come out. It was pretty popular. So and it was Walmart. So the shelf was empty. And they had 3 figures. And that was it. They had Fast Action Battler's Optimus, Fast Action Battler's Starscream, and the Classics reissue of Energon Devastator. You know what I'm talking about? That looks like shit. I mean, looks like garbage. You know? Anyway, yeah, the Devastator looks bad. I wasn't interested in it, but I got Starscream and Optimus. And those are the first 2 Transformers figures I ever bought. Well, I didn't buy them, my dad got them. Those are the first 2 Transformers figures I ever got. And it's what started a now decade-long hobby of spending way too much money on plastic robots. So that's why that figure ranks so highly for me. It has a lot of sentimental value, even if it objectively looks like crap. You can kill me now.
That's so sad.
I'm not sure if you're done or just getting your second win.
I'm done. I felt like I needed to tell the story because it's essential to why the character's so high.
He's trying to explain why he put a crappy figure so high.
It's a bad figure, but it has a lot of sentimental value.
I get it.
Okay.
My number 3 is my Laser Optimus Prime, which I get looks very different than a traditional Optimus Prime, and part of the reasons he's so high on my list is also sentimental value. I had him when I was a kid, and I loved him. He does a lot of good things right. I like this look, this kind of tough Optimus who looks like he could just put his shoulder down and tackle somebody. There's 2 versions of him. They're all gray chest and the chrome and black right here. I have both. But to me, he just looks cool. He's got an easy transformation. He has all sorts of cool gimmicks. I mean, if you put a sword in his hand, it lights up. The gun lights up. He has a sharp-looking trailer that turns into a base that has all sorts of action features going on in it. And it's the first Optimus Prime I remembered where the vehicle mode had a long cab, which it's in the movies now, and that's not great. But he looks cool on this figure. And he's so easy to transform. I mean, he takes seconds. I mean, that's my favorite kind of Transformer figures, the ones I can transform really fast. It's one of the reasons I love G1 and G2 so much. And you're there. And I love that long cab look, that black turning to red right there, looks sharp. He looks really neat, he's really fun. I know he's different, but
He was always bad.
he was such a departure from the G1 and the G2 regular one, which was basically the G1 one. He was much more articulate, and he had a sword. I thought that was cool
I mean, the
Back
toy
Which is kind of
as a
weird for
toy.
Optimus Prime figure.
back then. So I really like him. He's definitely my 3rd favorite, which sometimes he vies for my 2nd, but my 2nd one edges him out a little bit.
My number 3 is a figure that I don't think these 2 will know anything about because they never watched the series, but this is part of the Unicron trilogy.
Stupid.
Well, that's your opinion.
The
But-
Cybertron one, right?
Yeah, that's my opinion. That trilogy of cartoons.
That Cybertron Optimus
Sucks.
is a good figure, though.
It looks cool.
But-
So much better.
Anyway, but my number 3, what he just said, has been the Transformers Cybertron Optimus, Leader Class Optimus Prime figure, and the reason I like that figure because it's just something different than an ordinary cab. Because I'm like actually transformed to a fire engine in a way, and the fire engine, in the fire engine, as part of the fire engine, I'm like at what point? I'm sorry, at what point while while it's still in robot, not robot, vehicle mode, the wing, well, if I had a picture, I could show you, but the vegan, like the vegan mode part of it, it actually flies. That actually flies. I saw the one show, and when when it actually transforms, of course, had the base Optimus Prime figure, but the trailer itself, you get actually add that extra armor, and it also comes with weapons and cool weapons, stuff like that. And you have to use the cyber key to unlock his power. And I thought that was pretty cool because, like I said, it's like something different from like an ordinary Optimus Prime figure that anyone's ever seen before.
It's an impressive figure. I mean, it's not as, I'm not big into Cybertron, but I'll admit it was an impressive figure. Big figure.
Yes, it was.
I was
big
impressed with it.
Big figure. Number 2.
My number 2 spot
Oh my God.
is going to be Generation Toy Optimus Prime. I don't remember what the third party name for this is, but it's Optimus. Oh.
You made Eric have to walk. Oh my God. You made Eric have to walk away.
Carry on.
It's because it's the IDW design, and I don't care what anyone yells out in the next 20 seconds. The IDW Transformers comics are objectively the most compelling and well-written incarnation of the G1 characters.
Which is the most inaccurate thing I've ever heard anyone say. People who are ranking Last Jedi as their best movie ever have more sense than that.
Oh, boo-hoo. They treat the G1, the Transformers war, like an actual war, and our characters react to the way they would when given actual war-like scenarios. Optimus Prime is still noble and heroic, the Dinobots are still awesome, Ironhide is still awesome, Bumblebee gets a great character arc,
Megatron is an Autobot,
Megatron
Prowl is part of Devastator.
Megatron goes through a compelling character arc where he slowly grows because he didn't just start off as a sadistic punk one day. He grew as a character. He learned how to feel. It was compelling.
And they made him an
And
Autobot.
Starscream is a very compelling villain.
Starscream is a lot like his G1 counterpart.
Yes, he's like his G1 counterpart.
Except for
G1
smarter.
Starscream were
more
competent.
cunning.
And
Yeah.
it's great.
And that I like.
Thundercracker turns, which is cool because Thundercracker and Skywarp were boring in the G1 cartoon, and they give them personality in this. I love it. And I don't care what anyone else says.
I still
He's
think
too
Prowl
old.
is
He's
Devastator.
too old.
Don't work. Yeah, if you like it, you like it. It's just not for.
I love it. Although the Proud Devastator storyline is one I actually wasn't a big fan of. But I love the continuity as a whole. As I just basically agree with you guys on that one.
It's a cool figure though. I like that matte red on it.
I
And
love the
head
design.
sculpt's amazing.
He looks great. It's a fantastic. This is a great incarnate representation of the IDW Optimus look.
And that is a good design too.
It's very G1, but with a little updating to it, and I love it. And then there's of course one of the final reasons I like this more than the other one is he has a matrix and it opens properly, and they can tell you what makes and breaks an Optimus Prime figure or a Rodimus Prime figure for me is if he has a matrix chamber. That's why I hate DX9 Carry, is the man doesn't have a matrix chamber, and if you don't have a matrix chamber, you're not a Prime.
Especially, well, at least in Masterpiece scale anyway.
Yeah.
He'll forgive the smaller chunks.
Well, because they're cheaper, but if you're going to be like my collector's edition, what I put on the shelf to look perfect, you need to look perfect. And if you don't have a matrix chamber, you don't look perfect. But all in all, I just love this figure. I love the design, and I love the IDW comics.
I like the head sculpt on it a lot. My number 2 is Classics. I love this figure. He's another one that's pretty simple to transform. It doesn't take long. And he just looks good. He looks like a modern day Optimus. Like, what if Optimus had come out? What if the original Transformers came out in 2006? This is what I imagine he would look like. I love how the weapons store on him. They transform to become part of the vehicle mode. He looks good. He's got a serious face. I love the way the chest area works. The chest area looks really good. There's actually a third party that's done a Masterpiece scaled version of him I'd like to get sometime because it looks really cool. Good. Looks really good. He's easily my number 2. Yeah, right. Yeah, he's easily my number 2. I thought I might have accidentally said 3 when I started. And he's definitely my favorite chug scale Optimus. If I had to go through chug scale Optimus, he's the best one ever made. He's phenomenal. I mean, as old as this figure is, these joints are still tight. So he's got a great vehicle mode. He's got a great vehicle mode. He's got a great robot mode. He's got a great transformation. So you hit all 3 points right there. He's definitely my number 2.
I so wish I had
That's
brought
your
my
number
version.
2?
That's
That's not
Is that your number 2?
No. We were about to pounce you. So
See,
definitely my number
I
2.
so regret not bringing my version of that figure because I do prefer my version, and I think it would be cool to show a comparison.
Oh, boo-hoo.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 has to be a tie, even though it's the same
So
figure.
mean.
G1 and G2 Optimus Prime. But I mostly like the G2 Optimus Prime because the G2 Optimus Prime comes with more accessories. And the
But it's
trailer.
not G1 accurate.
But it's G2 accurate.
Can
And it does come with more accessories.
Can I please finish?
Yeah.
Anyway, before I'm so really interrupted, the only reason I like the G2 Optimus Prime better because it comes with a lot more accessories. I like the way the trailer looks. I even like the sound box that it comes with it. And because it actually comes with extra weapons, and I like that.
Weapons that fire. I
Yeah.
like the little red things
Yeah.
that shoot out on the missiles.
Yeah, you're right. That's right. The spring loaded weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically my number 2. And if you gentlemen don't mind, I'd like to start with number 1.
Well, we all
can
have
all
the
say it
same number
together.
1.
That's the reason I'm gonna start number 1 because even though I just
It's all the same.
Yeah, that's great. My number 1 has to be. My number 1 is
The Happy Meals toy that came out in 2007? I can't believe it!
I so hate you right now. But anyway, my number 1 has to be the MP10 Optimus Prime. But in this case, this right here is the Wee Jane MPP10 version.
And it's
of-
oversized.
It's
What,
oversized.
13 inches instead of 10.
That's correct.
And
That's
our personal favorites are the MP10.
Which is about.
About that height.
It's
It's
high.
about 10 inches.
Yeah,
9.5 inches.
but if you compare them,
Yeah.
look how tall this sucker is.
Hey guys, I was just gonna finish up real quick. The last couple minutes of the video got cut off. Ran out of storage room right as we were finishing it up. We were just talking about our number 1. All 3 of us, our number 1 was of course the MP10 mold. It's just an amazing figure. It completely blows the MP1 out of the water. The MP1's just kind of, at this point now, MP10 just is amazing. But we each have a different version of MP10 we like. As Eric was saying, he likes the oversized version, the MPP10, the really, really large 13-inch one. And Ian prefers the Hasbro version of MP10 with the animated, the more cartoon accurate colors. He really likes that one a lot. And in his defense, that one does go really well with the newer aesthetic the Masterpiece figures are going with, where they're super toon accurate, like the Hasbro Optimus MP10 goes a lot better with the MP36 Megatron. On the other hand, I prefer the Takara release of MP10, which the colors on it are more accurate to the original G1 toy, with the darker blue and the gray on the thighs instead of the white. I just prefer that look. To me, the Takara version looks more like a collector's item, whereas the Hasbro version looks more like a toy. So and since mine mostly just sit on the shelf, I don't really fiddle with them a lot. On the Masterpiece figures, I pretty much have a mode for them in mind when I buy them, whether they're going to be in their vehicle or the robot mode, and I tend to keep them in it. Although I will admit the Hasbro version has the better eyes, the more accurate looking cartoon eyes, the blue eyes, whereas in the Takara one looks like it was supposed to have light piping and then they didn't put that in, so he just kind of has these dark, almost dead eyes. So the Hasbro one has better eyes, but in general, I prefer the Takara MP10. So while we do love the same mold the best, we like different versions of it. Eric likes the oversized 13-inch, Ian likes the Hasbro version of him, and I prefer the original Takara release of him. I also like the MP10V, or the MPV10, whatever it is, the little small Voyager size ones that's been done. I have that one as well. That's a pretty cool figure. Just wanted to go ahead and fill that in real quick. We didn't realize it until after we finished the video, so I just wanted to kind of round that up. Anyway, this is Prowl 1701, and thank you for watching. Y'all have a good day.